Hi everyone and welcome to a new video. In this video we're going to take a look at the graph and why it's not a good time to buy into this project right now. If you like the sound of that, be sure to give this video a like. So unless you've been living off the grid, you must have heard about the graph and its insane pump upon listing. So on the 17th, the project got instantly listed on Coinbase because it's one of the Coinbase venture projects. Since then, the token went from 10 cents up to 70 cents. In this same week, not only Coinbase listed it, Qcoin, OKX, Kraken, Binance, and so forth. So this isn't just the Coinbase effect, it is a lot more than this. Of course, there's also a lot of hype. I mean, a coin that is just being launched and then going over 4x is basically insane. Additionally, we know we should buy low and sell high and not buy high and sell low. Of course, the question is, when is a price high and when is a price low? So before we dive into the analysis of the price right now, I'm going to take a look at the project itself. It will not be a deep dive. If you want a deep dive on this project, then I'll be glad to do one. Just post a comment on this video, and then if I get a few people asking for a deep dive, then I'll make sure that in the next 2 or 3 days I will dive deeper into this project. Anyway, so the graph is a system that will allow you to query data. Now, when you create an application or when you create a website, for example, any store like Amazon or Best Buy, whatever, they create their own database. In this database, they collect data, and of course, if they ever sell the company, all the value is in this database. Now we have the same thing for financial data, for example. You can pay Bloomberg to use their API to get some more information on financial data, and then you just pay a usage fee. We have this huge data market in this world, so everybody has their own databases with their own data, and they do their own research, and then you can pay to get access to this data. Basically, the graph wants to do the same thing, but they want to do this in a decentralized way. This means they want to make it easy for developers who are creating apps to make a serverless application. And this is a really cool concept, because right now if you create an application, you have to have your own server, you have to create your own database, and then manage all of this, which means security risk, higher costs, more development costs, and so forth. And of course, a lot of information is already publicly available on the blockchain, but just to quote Hayden Adams, the founder of Uniswap, the funny thing about blockchain data is that even though in theory everything is transparent and accessible, in practice it has been historically very opaque. And the graph makes this easier, which is important to move from Web 2.0 to Web 3.0. And then, of course, the whole concept of being serverless is a very cool evolution, because right now everybody is creating their own databases, is collecting their own data, and that creates security risks, more development costs, and so forth. So if we can create one global database with all the information that you can possibly imagine, that would be a lot more efficient and probably a lot more secure. So the idea is that anyone who wants access to the information will pay for it for each query. So it's a pay-as-you-go solution. Right now, we do the same thing with the blockchain networks. If you want to use the network, then you pay the miners for keeping the network and your transactions secure. So we have the same thing here. Just to give you an idea where this project is being positioned, so on one side you have the blockchain. In this case, they started on Ethereum, but of course they will add more blockchains. Then you have the graph as a communication layer, and then you have the dApps. And then each time a consumer wants to use the dApp will use the API, and the API will get the data. And then each time data is accessed, the people who provide the data will be rewarded. So this is a very interesting project which has a very broad target. So right now most of the usage, but of course we can think about governance, marketplaces, entertainment, social, personal identities, and so forth. So if you want to dive into the details of this project and you don't want to wait for my deep dive video, then be sure to take a look at the website of the graph, which is very simply thegraph.com. They have a really extensive website, they have some interesting articles, and of course they have a white paper on there and all the information you need to verify this project. First of all, let's take a look at the price. So it's now 70 cents. We went up from 10 cents, which is a huge pump, of course. We have a market cap of 900 million, which is insane. That puts the project in just a week on rank 35. And we only have a circulating supply of about 10%. So if we then take a look at the fully diluted valuation, we are looking at 7 billion. Now that we know where to situate this project, we can take a look at the data market, because we are talking about big data industry. This is what the graph is doing. It's giving you access to valuable data. So, big data estimated at 70 billion in the year 2020. This is the global market. We're not talking about the cryptocurrency market. And if you want to know how much money there is in the world and how big the global market is, then take a look at this website. I will put a link in the description of this video. So right now, this is the cryptocurrency market. And then we have here the gold market, for example. We have the Fortune 500, the stock market. So we're not even going to go further down the list because that will become insane. So let's just take a look at the stock markets, which is, let's say, 90 trillion. So that would mean that the entire global market for big data is only 0.07% of the global market. Right now, the market cap of the entire crypto market is 687 billion. So if we apply this percentage to the entire crypto market, then we could say that the market, if the proportions are the same, of course, for the crypto market would be 0.4 billion. So in this case, even if the graph has 100% of the market share right now, they are still overvalued by double. So I think a more fair value for this project would be 0.35. And please do keep in mind, I'm looking at a price point that is reflecting only 10% of the circulating supply. So when you look at it that way, I think between 0.3 and 0.4 is a solid price point. Alright, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give it a like and give it a comment if you want me to do a deep dive on the project itself, because I think the graph is really interesting, and especially the website, it can be a bit much, so I would love to do a deep dive on this as well. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.